In the heart of colonial Kenya, a time fraught with turmoil and hope, lay the small village of Gatanga. Nestled within the lush African jungle, the village was home to the Kikuyu tribe, whose resilience was as deep-rooted as the ancient baobabs that dotted the landscape. Among the tribe was a young warrior named Maina, whose eyes burned with the fire of 1,000 suns. Maina was not just a warrior, he was a dreamer, a seeker of freedom for his people. The year was 1952, and the winds of change swept through Kenya as the Mau Mau rebellion surged against the oppressive British colonial rule. Maina, despite his youth, was a respected figure within the rebellion. His skill with a spear and his strategic mind earned him the admiration of his peers and the ire of the colonial settlers. But beyond the fight for independence, a dire crisis gripped Gatanga. The rains had failed for 3 seasons, and the river that once flowed generously now trickled like the tears of a desolate child. The crops withered, and the cattle grew gaunt. The elders spoke of a legendary oasis, hidden deep within the jungle, a place where water flowed endlessly, and the land was perpetually fertile. Maina, driven by a sense of duty and the desperation of his people, vowed to find this hidden oasis and bring life back to his village. The journey would be perilous, fraught with natural obstacles, wild animals, rival tribes, and the ever-present threat of British soldiers. But Maina's heart was resolute. He knew that his quest was not just for water, but for the very spirit of his people. Maina prepared for his journey with the care of a seasoned warrior. He consulted with the village elders, who shared their wisdom and tales of the jungle. His mother, Wanjiru, a woman of great strength and tenderness, bestowed upon him a necklace made of cowrie shells, a symbol of protection and guidance. "Remember, my son," she whispered as she hugged him tightly, "you carry the hopes of our people. Be brave, but also be wise." With a small pack containing dried meat, a water god, and his trusty spear, Maina set off at dawn. The first rays of the sun pierced through the dense foliage, casting a golden hue on his path. As he ventured deeper into the jungle, the sounds of the village faded, replaced by the symphony of the wild, the chatter of monkeys, the call of exotic birds, and the rustling of unseen creatures. The jungle, though beautiful, was unforgiving. Maina's path was blocked by dense thickets and treacherous swamps. On the second day, he encountered a river, its waters rapid and filled with hidden dangers. Undeterred, Maina crafted a makeshift raft and navigated the turbulent waters. His arms ached from the effort, but his spirit remained unbroken. As night fell, Maina made camp near the riverbank. He lit a small fire and ate sparingly from his provisions. The jungle came alive with nocturnal sounds, a reminder of the lurking dangers. Maina slept lightly, his spear by his side ever vigilant. The days that followed were marked by relentless challenges. He climbed steep hills, navigated through thorny underbrush, and warded off wild animals. One afternoon, as he rested near a clearing, he heard the unmistakable sound of drums. Intrigued and cautious, he approached and discovered a group of Kikuyu warriors from a rival village. The warriors, initially wary, soon recognized Maina's resolve and shared their own struggles. They, too, had heard of the hidden oasis but had failed to find it. Together, they exchanged knowledge of the land and its secrets. Maina learned of a narrow pass through the mountains, a shortcut that could lead him closer to his destination. As Maina continued his journey, he was acutely aware of the colonial forces patrolling the jungle. The British, determined to crush the Mau Mau rebellion, had set traps and outposts throughout the region. One fateful evening, Maina stumbled upon a British patrol. The soldiers, armed and ruthless, had captured a group of Kikuyu men, accusing them of being rebels. Maina watched from the shadows, his heart pounding with anger and sorrow. He knew he could not confront the soldiers directly, it would be a death sentence. Instead, he waited until nightfall, then used his knowledge of the jungle to create a diversion. Setting fire to a distant patch of dry grass, he drew the soldiers away from their captives. With the soldiers distracted, Maina swiftly moved in and freed the prisoners. The men, grateful and awed by his bravery, pledged their support to his cause. Among them was a seasoned hunter named Kamau, whose knowledge of the jungle would prove invaluable. With Kamau by his side, Maina's journey took a new turn. Kamau spoke of ancient markings on trees and hidden trails known only to the most skilled hunters. Together, they followed these clues, each step bringing them closer to the mythical oasis. Their path was not without danger. They faced fierce storms, treacherous cliffs, and the ever-looming threat of rival tribes. One night, as they camped in a secluded grove, they were ambushed by a band of hostile warriors. Outnumbered and caught off guard, Maina and Kamau fought valiantly. In the heat of battle, Maina's spear broke, leaving him defenseless. Just as hope seemed lost, a group of Mau fighters, led by Maina's childhood friend, Njeri, arrived and turned the tide. The hostile warriors, recognizing the strength and unity of Maina's group, retreated into the night. Reunited with Njeri, Maina felt a renewed sense of purpose. Njeri, a fierce and intelligent leader, shared news of the rebellion and the increasing brutality of the colonial forces. Together, they vowed to not only find the oasis but to use its bounty to support their people's struggle for freedom. After weeks of arduous travel, Maina, Kamau, and Njeri reached the base of a towering cliff. According to Kamau, the oasis lay just beyond this final barrier. The climb was perilous, with loose rocks and narrow ledges. As they ascended, a fierce wind howled, threatening to throw them into the abyss below. Maina led the way, his determination unwavering. Halfway up, Kamau slipped, hanging precariously by one hand. Maina, with a burst of strength, pulled him to safety. Exhausted but undeterred, they continued their ascent. At the summit, the sight that greeted them was beyond their wildest dreams. The hidden oasis was a verdant paradise, a stark contrast to the drought-ridden land below. Crystal-clear water cascaded from a hidden spring, feeding lush vegetation and vibrant flowers. It was a sanctuary untouched by time, a testament to nature's resilience. Maina, Njeri, and Kamau spent several days at the oasis, replenishing their strength and gathering supplies. They devised a plan to transport water back to Gatanga, using animal skins and makeshift containers. With their provisions secured, they began the journey home. The return trip was no less challenging, but Maina's heart was light with the knowledge of their success. As they neared Gatanga, they were greeted by the anxious faces of their people. The sight of Maina, leading the procession with water from the oasis, brought tears of joy and relief. The villagers celebrated their return with songs and dances, honoring the bravery and determination of Maina and his companions. The water from the oasis revived the land, and the crops began to flourish once more. Maina's quest for the hidden oasis became a legend, a tale of courage and hope that inspired generations. He continued to lead his people, both in the fight for freedom and in the stewardship of their land. The village of Gatanga prospered, a symbol of resilience in the face of adversity. Maina learned that true leadership was not just about bravery in battle but also about compassion, wisdom, and the ability to unite people toward a common goal. His journey taught him the importance of community, the strength found in unity, and the power of nature to heal and sustain life. The hidden oasis remained a guarded secret, a sacred place known only to the elders and the most trusted warriors. It stood as a testament to the enduring spirit of the Kikuyu people, a symbol of their connection to the land and their unwavering quest for freedom.